Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible. This week, Brainiac Bob hosts and confirms that incontinence leads to victory. Museum-loving Mark derides Mr. Skywalker, displays his majestic knowledge of Nashers, and calls BS on sound editing. Shwaiting Wade has an aneurysm, huddles around a crapper, and gives pro tips on wart removal. From trickle-down exposure and water sports to flossing with garments. Yes, it's time for Doing It Wrong. Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome back once again to another episode hosted by me. Hi, my name's Bob and I'm the host because I can't stop winning. Always winning. Never stop winning. I can't stop and I won't stop. It's physically impossible for me to avoid winning anytime I compete on this podcast, and it feels great, tell you what. And I'm joined by my two losers, Mark and Wade, who will be competing today. Say hi, losers.
Well, I'm not gonna say hi.
No, you said hi.
That was as I was going to refute what you said. I wasn't saying hi.
Points to Wade for not falling into the loser trap.
I didn't fall in.
Also, I didn't lose because I hosted and I made you win. So
Yeah, well, you didn't win, did you? So you must have lost.
Sometimes it just comes down to a coin flip, you know?
Not when I'm hosting.
Okay, well, anyway, what I was gonna say is, dost thou speak like an asshole too much? Because I think that the subreddit has swooped in and finally come to terms with the idea that I am being treated unfairly on this podcast, and those who were previously known as and friends, are getting a little too high on their own fumes. So I think that
I'm sorry, do I have baby food on my face? Wow, I totally did.
I thought you were like jokingly wiping a tear as if you were like, oh, you cried.
No, I had a little caked on baby food. That's fine. It's fine.
Well, maybe don't eat it so messily. Anyway, so in that, I went to the subreddit to be like, I can't wait to see how they're really on my side. And then I saw, which is funny because you were talking about this loser talk. You got roasted alive on the subreddit, Bob. You got destroyed. What? You got annihilated.
That doesn't sound right.
I just see a bunch of pictures of him in a fridge.
I'm not in a fridge. I'm in a white void.
Yeah, but the one where you had the shelf behind you, the fridge shelves.
It does look like it looks. It's so, to be fair and to correct the loser idiots on the subreddit, it looks like a freezer, not a fridge. Dum-dums. That white metal shelving that looks like that, it looks like a freezer.
Well, I think they were just assuming that you are so tall that you had to cut the path from the fridge to the freezer, and that's just your upper half in the top section.
My brain is actually so powerful that it runs so hot that my body can withstand refrigeration, but my brain needs freezer level cooling to operate at optimal levels.
Right. Okay. So anyway, not to derail this episode immediately, but the reason I wanted to bring that up is because I swear to God, your shirt that you wore that day is made of the same material that dress that broke the internet was, because it looks blue and black in some angles, and then it looks white and gold in others. And I really think you nailed that aesthetic, if that's what you were going for.
No, I actually have owned that shirt since before that thing on the internet happened. It's just a blue and gray shirt.
So you're saying they stole your shirt to make the dress?
I actually am that meme, but before. Is there a word for that? I'm that preen.
People actually see other colors other than blue and gray there?
Yeah, people, the dress, you didn't see white.
No, the dress
and gold?
I've seen. I meant Bob's shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying me. I'm not saying everyone's talking about it. I'm just trying to say it looks like that.
Everyone's talking about it, Wade.
Everyone's talking about it, Wade.
I didn't even pay attention to the shirt. I was too busy looking at the bag of groceries on his left and the milk on his right.
Yeah, no, so that's funny. The person who did the adding things to the picture until it's whatever was like, I'm not doing any more. And then the fridge thing came up and everyone was like, well, one more. We could do one more. He's in a fridge.
I just am like, I swear I could find a transparent milk jug on the internet with a very quick search. I swear I could.
They're doing the Lord's work there.
Nah.
Anyway, so yeah, don't be so uppity about your wins there, Bob, because the hurricane of justice is flowing into your state area. The tri-state area is under a severe hurricane warning of justice.
Oh.
You're overlooking the fact that despite the fact that I was in an easily mockable setting and everyone went in on me super fast, I still won. So what does that make you?
Well, unfair. There's been a...
If I'm in a refrigerator, where are you, Mark?
There's been a low pressure zone of unfairness in the greater Los Angeles area, and I haven't... It's been a dearth. It's been a dearth of justice in my vicinity.
Question. Is dearth the opposite of girth, or are those just unrelatedly sound-alike words? Because that just struck me and I couldn't not say it out loud.
If girth is thickness, is dearth a measure of...
Dearth is how much it goes in on itself. Girth is like, the Venn diagram circles that overlap. It's that inner part of the overlapping.
No, that's DIRTH. I'm talking DEARTH.
The Earth? Are you trying to say the Earth, Mark?
No, Darth.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. Darth is a scarcity or lack of something, and Darth Vader has a lack of ability to save his wife.
No, Darth is really a thing that doesn't get enough funding in public schools, Mark, and it's really not something to joke about. The Arth is very enriching.
Right. What about dearth, though?
Dearth is basically just mud with no water in it, so I don't know why we're talking about that.
So if I'm lacking in dearth, am I girth? I'm girthy as hell.
You're girthed out.
I'm girthed out.
I played a dwarf named Derb once. Is that like dearth?
No, that's a proper noun. That could mean anything. I don't even know what language that's from. We're speaking English here in America.
I'd like to think people come to Distractible to learn new words and insightful commentary on the world around us.
No, that's one of the top things we provide is expanded vocabulary for all of our watch listeners.
Wait till they hear about Schwait.
Expound.
I won't.
You must. I declare.
I have to wait till they hear about it. Then I'll expound.
They're going to have to schwait.
They have to schwait. They have to shh and wait. Schwait.
It's short for shut the fuck up and wait. Schwait.
Well, I guess we're expounding now.
So I didn't say it out loud, so I might as well. This is a show. I'm the host. They're competing. I give out points. The winner hosts the next episode. We're like 10 minutes in, 5 minutes into the episode, and I didn't explain that. But who cares? That's a bad question, because you know who cares? The subreddit desperately cares.
One person at least.
I'd goddamn better keep fair points and give a fair winner to the fairest fair.
Our friendship hinges on it.
You said they're going to get me because I'm a winner? No, they're going to get me on the fairness mark. That's what the subreddit comes out for.
All right. Well, I'm just saying that's kind of was the crux of my entire argument there, was that it was unfair.
No, but you were trying to tear down my winning. You can't destroy the wins. I got wins fair and square. Squarely and fairly.
I think the hosts eat more shit on the subreddit than the competitors do.
That's definitely true. Usually the host is the target of the ire, but that's okay.
All I want is to remember the handshake deals that are made behind closed doors, because I just have this vague recollection that I'm like on the line for 30 wins if I do something, and I can't remember what it was.
You know what? I remember the 30 wins part, and I think it was a handshake between you and me, potentially. And I, for the life of me, can't remember what you are or not supposed to do either, or something. I could probably go watch the footage. That's probably out there somewhere.
There's a subclause that if you two can't remember, I get the wins.
Hey, subreddit, if you want to keep track of something, someone has diligently kept track of all of our wins and has a graph and has it broken out in several different ways. If someone wants to keep track of all the handshake deals, that'd be really helpful, because I can't fucking remember. And I'll say your username probably on the episode if I use your thing.
They like that. They like that a lot. They like that.
I'll pay you in exposure.
Ooh, wow.
Exposure? The dollar goes up and down in value as opposed to other currencies, but exposure is always worth the same amount.
Such as mad_wordsmith asking if this is a cannoli. Keep it up.
You can't just give it out like that. Now the value of the The exposure's gone down.
No, that's a taste. It's a sprinkle. It's to show them that we mean business.
There is no such thing as trickle-down exposure.
There is. We have all of it at the top, and we'll slowly introduce it into
Right. No, we have the power. So yeah, no, trickle-down exposure totally works. That's right. That's great for everyone, especially including you guys and us, though. Don't worry about it or think about it.
And we would give you guys more exposure, but we need it to boost the exposure economy. Don't you understand?
Yeah, how are we going to hire more workers to work for exposure if we don't have the exposure to spend on?
And pay our exposure taxes.
What in God's name is that cup? It's so brightly colored.
A naked lady with a grill on it.
Do you want to... What's the words, Mark?
It says, do women have to be naked to get into the Met Museum?
What
a fitting cup for you.
No, it's less than 4% of the artists in the modern art sections are women, but 76% of the nudes are female.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know what a Met Museum was. I thought it was for the New York Mets baseball team. I'm guessing it's not what it is.
Oh my, it's short for Metropolitan, Wade. Holy crap. Have you heard of the Met Gala?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I've heard those words. That's where people dress up.
Well, actually, I don't know if the Met Gala is that the museum or is that the Metropolitan Opera that has the gala? I forget. I don't actually.
I've never been invited, so I have no idea.
I'm not that civilized, but Met is short for Metropolitan, the Metropolitan Museum.
So the New York Mets are the New York Metropolitans?
No, yeah, it's the Met Gala is short for the New York City Metropolitan Museum of Art.
There you go. Do you know what the Cincinnati baseball team is, Wade?
The Reds, formerly the Red Stockings or something.
They're not formerly. Reds is currently their shorthand name for the official. Well, I'm not going to say that. I think they're still technically the Redlegs, the Cincinnati Redlegs baseball team.
Anyway, this is our official declaration that we're throwing down against Go, my favorite sports teams. Those guys are hacks and don't actually tell you the real hard-hitting things about sports. They suck, and we need to tell them.
Tyler's obsessed with balls and holes, but let me tell you, there's so much more about sport than just balls and holes.
There's also nets and too many men on the field.
Nets and goals and posts and kicks and...
illegal touching.
Naughty touching. No.
Centers. Wade's short for Wadefer.
I've always thought if it's going to be called a tight end, shouldn't the next spot out, which is usually like a tight receiver or a slot receiver, shouldn't that be called a loose end?
Yeah, but they tie those up.
Well, that's fine, but once you tie it up, then it's a tight end. If it's untied, it's a loose end.
Those are under the field.
Whatever. I don't know if this counts as small talk. Do we want to count that as our small talk, or do you guys want to do actual small talk?
Well, apparently we only talk about the same things every week in the same small talk.
Tell us about AI and also Mac versus PC.
What I don't get is how in that post, and this is that one guy doing it. I know that is. Because it's like me, I only ever talk about AI. Bob, you only ever talk about your baby. And somehow Wade gets a pass because he doesn't talk about anything.
I've got nothing.
And that's how everyone's like, that's beautiful, that's great. At least he's not saying these two other subjects. It's like, I've talked about so many diverse topics in my small talk, and they want to boil it down to just AI? I've talked about moral quandaries.
You know, you're talking about AI again, Mark.
You want me to talk about AI again? I'll talk about AI.
Here's my small talk. Foam wet, not on walls.
Hey, guys, my computer is dying.
Uh-oh.
Fucking shit. I need to go get the charger for my laptop, or apparently it's at 10% battery.
Run!
My chair blocks my office door from opening. Hang on.
All right.
Head empty, foam wet, not on walls. It's not my fault.
My laptop is dying. I didn't realize. My charger.
Oh, no. Will, this might need to be an edit out depending on what's said here.
I had it plugged in over here for a while.
Oh no.
I think maybe it got put in the cabinet at some point.
I really wish you'd start talking shit about us.
I'm not saying that you touched it. I know. The painting people moved all the shit around. Painting person.
I feel like we shouldn't listen to that.
I know. So, what's up? Small talk? You got anything interesting in life?
Oh, laptop charger. Where did I leave you? Oh, it's in my backpack, which is upstairs, next to my computer. Okay. Fuck.
I can't unlisten, but I don't think...
Oh, I'm wearing a microphone. I wonder if they can still hear me. Did you guys hear me that whole time?
We were kept going like, oh no, we shouldn't listen to this.
I found my charger, guys. It was right here, 5 feet away from me.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Oh man, that's crazy.
We were trying not to listen, but we couldn't help it.
Why would you try not to listen?
We were trying to talk over you.
I'm the one who went to the bathroom wearing my lav. That's the rule.
Mm-hmm. Because the other thing I always talk about apparently is like I've been editing, right? But I was editing and I got to this take where it's mysteriously a 40-minute take. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And I'm like, okay, the video stops at 2 minutes, and then it's 38 minutes of my lav live just as we're going to lunch.
Is it good or is it really just boring? Because I'm sure most of that's boring.
It's just boring conversation. It's not like it's not like cut and then I just start swearing and like racism comes spewing out.
They yell cut and you're like, are we done rolling? And we're like, yeah. And you're like, you walked right across my fucking eye line. I'm up here. Do you know?
Yeah, that's how actors get in trouble.
Marcus Christian Bale? What the hell?
We were hoping, Bob, when you stepped away, I was like, please start shit talking us or something. Be like, oh, you fucking guys.
Did I? I don't even know what I said.
No, you were just talking about your cord.
That's absolutely something I would do.
I was hoping, but we didn't get any of it on camera to hold against you.
Anyway, I want to talk about the cost effectiveness of Apple.
That is it for the small talk portion, Bob. You told me to watch the time. I did. So back to you. Back to you.
Oh, no, that bit's dead. We're done with that. Don't do that anymore. That's bad.
No, deduct points to punish him.
If you do that again, it better be on your dick. Will, get the blur ready. Stand by.
I'll paint the little face. It may look like Mickey Mouse's nose.
Well, I don't know, Mark. Do you have anything interesting to talk about then?
Yeah, I got interesting things.
AI, here we come.
Well, what if I don't want to talk about them?
You have to.
I don't have to. I don't have to do anything.
I said so. So, suck it.
I might not go today.
What does that mean?
That's so specific.
Go where? Where are you going?
I'm not. Well, it doesn't matter. I might not be going, but I might.
Oh, that's very confusing.
I might not, though.
Well, that sounds disappointing, if I'm honest.
Well, he doesn't wanna.
No, I wanna.
Never mind. He's changed his tune since we were talking earlier.
No, I mean, I wanna in a conceptual way, but also, like, I'd be cool if not. But not that it doesn't happen at all. It's just that if it wasn't today, that'd be great.
So it's gonna be today, though, then.
You guys want an M&M?
Are they stuck together, or are you just offering
No, just
two?
holding.
Okay, good. I would like. Are those peanut M&Ms?
Oh yeah, dude. I got the whole big bag.
God, that would kill Ethan so fast.
That would kill Ethan so fast.
I know. There is nothing I wanted more than when we were around him than peanuts because I couldn't have them. Just like every time I went to a convenience store while on the bus, I was like, dude, I would kill for M&M peanuts right now.
I want a Baby Ruth bar so bad. Oh my God.
Oh, but only if he wouldn't die. My life is so hard. Oh.
Yeah, it's annoying, okay? It's really annoying.
You're the person on an airplane when they're asked to not open peanut products that are like, oh! No!
Only in my head. I don't make a fuss. I just think like, damn that fucking person.
I'll sneak it anyway. I'm sneaking it. They won't know. It don't matter.
What happened to survival of the fittest? Why am I the one paying for their shitty genetics?
Well, there's evidence that it's not entirely genetic.
Oh, so he just needs to get over it.
I mean, severe allergies that could result in death. I don't know if you can get over them through exposure therapy, but Ethan did that, right?
Ethan
He
tried
talked
that.
about that a lot, that when he was a kid, he got exposed to 1/32 of a peanut once a month or something and tried to like reduce his allergy, and
It didn't work.
it didn't fix him long term, but like if you have a slight allergy, probably maybe that would be more effective, and you wouldn't die if you messed up.
I played school sports, so I was surrounded by nuts in the locker room all the time. I also had lots of exposure.
I want to circle back to that because that actually is a really good transition to today's topic.
I knew it. Points?
Yeah, points, sure, points for that.
And I feel like I've said a lot.
Mark, this is my turn.
That actually was like, wow, oh man.
It's usually not true when you do stuff like that, but it was so poignantly true that like there's no rebutting it.
Oh,
It is your turn. You're right. I just feel bad for Mark, but
it's okay. It's okay. I deserve it.
points to Mark for garnering my pity.
What about points to me for being so hilariously cruel?
You're getting a lot of points. Let's say something good, and I'll give you a point.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
No, the only update I have is I've been trying to get this foam on the wall, like I told you guys like 2 episodes ago, but our dryer broke and I've got soaking wet foam that I can't dry.
Oh, I was gonna say, you mentioned that earlier. You definitely want to get that cleaned out. That's, you know how those commercials that are like dryers start some large percentage of home fires.
Yep.
That's how they start, because your vent thing is probably clogged.
Hence the reason why I'm not using the dryer and I've got wet foam.
We had that in our. You can buy. So I know I don't know where your laundry room is, but you can buy the brush where you just like attach it to a drill, and it comes with a bunch of sections, so you can make it really long, and you can like do that yourself.
Is the pipe thing easy to come off the back of the dryer?
Yeah, you scoot the dryer out. There's a hose clamp. You just take like a flathead screwdriver, unscrew the hose clamp, it slides right off, and then you have access to the metal pipe. And then they just sell like a brush, and you can buy as many lengths of extension as you want for it, and you just put the brush on a drill.
How bad is it just to shove a vacuum hose up there?
It doesn't do it. So it's not just like it's filled with dust. It's humid, right? When the dryer is pushing that air mixed with the lint out there, it's like kind of moist. It like glues itself to the sides of the pipe.
How deep up there do I need to go? Because our dryer, the way it's situated, I'll give you a diagram here.
Yeah. Let's really dig into this.
So dryer is, let's call it yay height, right? Height goes from floor to fucking ceiling.
I really thought he was going to expand that and be like, all right, Will, put up a diagram here.
I have an original thought. Will.
Oh, wow. I see what you're getting at. That's so clever that you did it like that.
I know. But it's like, it's one giant metal pipe that goes like all the way up. It's like an 8 because it's not a finished ceiling and it goes all the way to the ceiling. So it's like a 9 foot just straight fucking.
So there's code, right? There's a maximum length that those are generally supposed to be. So I think they're supposed to be like 12 feet or less, or 15 feet or less, or something like that.
Where does it go after that?
It goes to the outside. So wherever it goes up and terminates, there's a little thing on the outside of your house. It could be on the roof. I don't know if it's upstairs or in the basement or what, but it's on the outside of your house. There'll be like a little box with some flaps. And when the dryer blows, the flaps are blown open, and that's where that air goes. If it's clogged, the flaps probably don't blow open. But I would say if you can find that vent on the outside of your house, what you want to do is take the dryer off and go from both ends, because you just remove the screws and that little cover comes off. And you want to go in from both ends.
The trick, we have 2 dryers in the house.
You have 2 dryers. What the hell kind of mansion? How many ovens do you have?
They've got the main laundry area, which we've been using, so I've not had access to it for the foam, which is why I tried using this dryer for the foam. They had like their old washer and dryer they just like installed in their basement. It's not like we brought them or anything, but they've got this like the basement washer and dryer, which have weird stains on them, and they maybe look like they were used in a murder, but those are the ones I was allowed to use for the foam.
Cool.
I was told that we didn't want foam on our laundry dryer, so my Molly and company were using the other dryer for their stuff. So I was given murder dryer.
I can't believe it doesn't work.
Well, it gets things warm.
That's good. That sounds safe.
It's like really warm wet foam.
Full of highly flammable dust, and it gets real hot.
It sounds to me like your problem can be solved by just bowling over everyone else and going to the other dryer.
Well, that's the plan today. After we're done here, I told them, I was like, I claim dryer today because murder dryer's not working.
You know what you could do too, if you want to make it someone else's problem, just go to a laundromat and you can use as many dryers as you want and dry them all at once. And if there's any damage to the dryer system or whatever, it's not yours.
I forgot those existed. I haven't used those since college, so I forgot they existed.
I mean, I haven't really used a laundromat in quite a while, but why did you forgot them?
I just don't ever like pass them either. Like I just don't see them very often.
Your town doesn't allow that kind of riffraff.
Oh yes, no, of course. In Richmondsville, we only allow the rich, and the rich don't have laundromats. They have laundra servants.
You know, in fact, I do have a laundromat. I misspoke. His name is Jeff.
Oh, you must be referring to the laundromat.
The Laundra Metropolitan.
Ah, the Metropolitan Laundry, only the most fashionable.
The Metropolitan Galleria of Laundering.
I have a team of servants that use blow the foam. There, they're gonna get it for me. And if they get any spit on it, they get fired. They better have dry blows only.
Well, I gotta say, dryer maintenance discussion was not on my bingo card for topics we would cover on today's episode of Distractible, but
Hey, you asked about my small talk, and
I just feel like somehow the subreddit is gonna be like, thank God I was having a dryer crisis, and Saint Wade brought up this topic and provided the insight. His diagram, ungodly, godly and ungodly. It's against any deity because of how good it was. Only man.
we were hours, mere minutes away from our house going up in a blaze of glory of dryer lint ignition, and Wade saved my entire family.
flip it around. There's the inside of the pipe. You just shove, swoop, pull.
Well, you don't have to do that.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate you. I can't wait to see what I have behind me because it won't be a dryer.
You know what I find hilarious, Bob? This guy, Wade, that no one's going to call him out for. No one, not a soul is going to call him out for it, but I'm calling him out right now.
My hairline?
He's got auto white balance enabled on his camera.
I know. Can you believe that? I'm recording on the built-in webcam on my laptop, and I don't even have that turned on.
Guys, I don't know how to use a camera.
That seems like an important thing you could have learned in the last decade while you were doing this job we do.
That's what I've always had friends for. I'm like, hey, guys, this is happening. And you guys like, try this setting. And then it's fixed. I never worry about it again.
You use a camera on a daily basis. There's no way that issues haven't come up where you had an opportunity to learn at least a little bit about how that works.
After this episode, I'm totally going to ask you how you mess with auto white balance, and it's going to be great.
It is one of the most basic settings to change on any camera that exists. I got your back, buddy.
And it's one of the most fundamental things you do when you have a green screen is because you don't want your green changing colors as you're there.
That would explain all of the streaming issues I've been having with my green screen where I start to disappear.
Oh, man.
I keep blaming OBS, but it might be a weight issue.
No, it's definitely probably white balance changing the hue of your green.
Man, that explains. I've been getting so pissed every stream I go live and I'm wearing like different color shirts. I'm like, dude, why do I have to adjust the green screen parameters again?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Here's a pro tip to all you potential content creators out there. Don't be me.
Oh God. I just can't believe you've never, in all that time of being mad, been like, what is it? Changing colors or something? Have you said that? Have you said those words?
I was also confused why there wasn't a contrast option on the OBS green screen filter, so I messed with everything else instead.
Oh, man.
Enough about me. Let's talk about you, Bob.
Points to Wade,
I don't want these points.
because you don't deserve them, but you get them anyway.
You're like the subreddit. You reward me for bad behavior, and I appreciate that.
Oh, Wade, don't be too embarrassed. You're going to get really red. It's going to change your cameras.
I was literally saying that.
You're going to start shifting the colors on your camera. You're going to ruin everything. It's going to make it so hard for Will to do that green screen bit that you totally came up with on your own.
Yeah, he's spending hours rotoing you out manually because you're like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect.
Make it as grainy and awful as you can.
This is a metropolitan editing podcast.
Will, when it goes up, put the eyedropper on his skin and not the green skin.
I don't even know what those words mean.
Well, it'll be really hard to track his skin. He's real pink. Keeps getting redder for some reason.
You're gonna have an aneurysm right on show, and
If you have an aneurysm, you win.
At least this episode doesn't end until Wade has an aneurysm.
no, one of us, we could both have either of us could have an aneurysm.
What if we both do? Is it whoever has the better one?
I feel like that should be a general rule. If you have an aneurysm live during an episode recording, you win, so then we can proceed to the saving your life part of that. So don't, though.
Yeah, don't.
I think I want to instate whenever I'm host, if anyone just pees their pants at any moment in time, you automatically win that episode no matter what has happening or is happening.
You've mentioned that before.
What was in your? It was in the episode you did of bad episode ideas, right? I want to toss that out there. If you're like desperately losing, no shot, everything's gone wrong, but you, before I announce the winner, piss yourself and can demonstrate proof of it, you could steal a win right there.
But it has to be before you announce the winner.
If I announce a winner and the episode is concluded, you can't like reverse the decision with it. But you can end an episode and steal the episode just by peeing your pants at any point in time.
Okay.
Okay, another question. What if one of us pisses our pants like 20 minutes in?
Yeah.
And then the other one pisses 30 minutes in. Do they overwrite the initial pisser?
No, the second person's just wasting that piss.
They're wasting the piss. Okay.
They're wasting the piss.
Once you do that, the episode is concluded. You are the winner, and that makes me no longer the host. So the rule isn't in effect anymore.
Yeah, you got to be FTP, the first piss.
And do you think we'll make it cool, like in that Adam Sandler movie, Billy Madison, when he pisses himself, and all the kids are like, that's so cool. Like the subreddit will be like, dude, I pissed my pants now. Or do you think we'll be made fun of?
I do not think that would be a good subreddit trend. I do not want to see a bunch of pictures of people pissing themselves on the subreddit. The rule stands. The rule is in play, gentlemen.
Does that mean an audience member could win?
They'd have to be like on the call. They have to show proof that they did it while we're doing the episode. So if someone was like,
they're gonna
do
try
like a Q&A at some point or something, and there's like a guest in the call with us,
No.
they could be one of the only viewers in the entire history of the world to have a Distractible victory outside of our trio.
I look like I'm dead.
You don't look super great.
What are you doing? I was looking at something else. I was off topic while this was playing itself out. What were you doing?
Well, I got the dark circle. I'm kind of corpsey. Don't piss yourself and show us pictures.
It is the sterile white background.
I can fix it.
It's not even just that. Bob has the same type of background, but he looks just better.
Thanks, man.
Wow, that felt personal.
That did. That felt more like it was less about the wall or the camera and more about the person.
I was ready to happily accept that, but I kind of...
He's on a computer's webcam.
That's true. I'm on a MacBook webcam.
With like a 2 millimeter... Okay, well, it's a MacBook. Well, it's high quality.
I will show you the camera. I can't because it is the camera. I will tell you about the camera I'm using one day.
Yeah, I know. It's the one I recommended you 7 years ago.
And?
Thank God they haven't invented any new cameras since then.
Can't you tell I listened?
That's Wade listens once, never again.
He listened. That's what people want. That's what you got to do. You got to listen, and he did.
I see you and I hear you.
Thank you.
Do I win?
Anyway, it's 35 minutes into the episode or something approximately. Should we talk about the topic?
Yeah.
No.
Mark makes a compelling argument.
We're at an impasse.
What should we talk about, Mark?
We should talk about
AI?
We could do that.
Mac?
Yeah.
Editing?
What about proper foam washing and drying techniques?
Points to Mark for trying to come up with something new and not just showing the same foam washing thing.
Okay, what if I show you the backside of it?
You did that last time. All right, so today's topic. Wade had said something that I said was a good transition like 20 minutes ago now.
Yeah.
You were in a locker room and you saw lots of nuts. So today's topic is I saw an article and it made me think. Because the article was about, it's like a totally like trashy nonsense internet article, but it was about how apparently some people in the world brush their teeth with warm water or hot water even.
Okay.
And the person writing the article was kind of like, what? That's weird. And I was like, that is weird. I don't believe that any human would choose to brush their teeth with warm water. That sounds weird and unpleasant, but maybe I'm wrong. And I want to talk about things that are like that we might do wrong. And Wade's thing is a transition because I was played sports my entire middle school, high school career, never had nuts in the locker room. I'm not taking questions yet. But you had nuts all around you. Is that normal or is it normal? Everyone in my locker rooms always like kept their boxers on and was very like modest and awkward about it. I never went free braining in the locker room and no one did. But you guys were just naked, doing naked locker room stuff.
I was the shy one who did not, but we had dudes that were very comfortable just being completely naked. We also had a member of our team who always took both pregame and halftime dumps. And during halftime, we have a limited amount of time before you have to be back on. It's not like you can just stay in there as long as you need to. So there were many occasions where we had to have our team huddle around this person while they were on the toilet. Because the way that the toilets were set up in the locker room, there was like the locker room with the lockers, and then there was like the separate bathroom shower area. And there was like, I don't know if there were multiple stalls or not, but there was one stall that didn't have a door on like the right wall when you walked in from the locker section. And we would gather around him while he sat on the toilet, and the coach would go over the plan for the second half while he was sitting there taking a shit.
You say he as if this is a specific dumper, like the dumper of the day. I believe I'm thinking of the same locker room, and I do not remember this isolated stall. I remember a bathroom with a broken stall door.
Maybe that's what it was. But you remember the door on the right.
But it was not, it was in the bathroom. Like, how would you huddle around it?
Well, you have less players on a basketball team than you do like other sports teams.
Oh, you're talking inside. I thought you were talking like the exterior locker room.
Inside by the... I'm specifically thinking of, I believe it was Milford Junior High School's men's locker room.
Listeners, if you go to Milford's Junior High School and you have access, if you're a guy and you can go in the men's locker room, check it out.
I also still think he's bullshitting because I remember that one very vividly, and it's like it's a square room with benches in an inner square, and it's like
hallway. Door. Here's the lockers. Lockers. Hallway, lockers, bench, doorway, shower room.
No. This is what it was. Okay. All right. This is it, right? Okay. This is a doorway into the gymnasium. Okay, this was the gymnasium, right? The gymnasium. No, this is the gymnasium, right? Okay, this is the gymnasium. The bathroom, it was like here was the men's locker room, right? But this is flatter. Don't think it.
Take the battery off. Yeah, that'll fix it.
Yeah.
I'm already more confused by your diagram.
Right? So you go in, and then the lockers were in like this square shape, and then there was the interior of like benches here, and then the showers were back here, right?
So the same layout I said, but sideways. Okay.
Yeah, but mine's better. I have a camera here.
Oh,
in fact, I have the camera you use.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looks like the camera that I'm pretty sure Wade is currently filming on.
What's it called?
It's the Sony AX700, yes.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it?
For only night vision now.
I used mine for that when I went ghost hunting.
Do you even know how to turn the night vision on?
I did, because I used it when we went ghost hunting.
You looked at the camera and I was like, ooh, he's going to flick it on.
Well, I could, but you have to go to display and like scroll down to access.
It's not that that's a bad camera, but it's a camcorder versus like a DSLR, which is nowadays the superior imaging, not because the camcorder is bad, like form factor wise, it's the sensor size thing, right? So the sensor size in this one is only 1 inch, which is like not small compared to a phone camera. It's very large, but with the fixed lens and the style of lens, especially being an emphasis on zoom, it doesn't have a lot of like depth to the image because its focus field is larger because it's a camcorder it wants that.
I get deep enough without needing my camera to compensate, Mark.
Also, it's meant for user friendliness, so the auto features are predominant, and that's why yours has auto.
What do you mean? I look great. Also, locker room, you're sideways. Where's the toilet in your diagram?
I don't even remember where the toilets were. I don't think they had toilets.
All of that to not even disagree?
I don't see how people could huddle around a stall in that place.
Points to Mark for refusing to believe something for almost no actual reason whatsoever.
Look, this is actually the perfect debate for you, Bob, because we both went to the same place, but you didn't. So you have to be the arbitrary of what is true. And I'm telling you that you go into that locker room, you make a sharp turn, there's something on the left, there's lockers back there. I don't think there's a single bathroom. I don't think there's a single toilet. I think those heathens were shitting on the floor and pissing their pants.
Okay, they were, but not because there weren't toilets.
If you have any proof of that, Wade, your team could win the episode right now.
If I have any proof, sorry, I did not take photos of the junior high men's locker room while I was in there.
I mean, that's probably smart, yeah, but...
Yeah, there's other content creators that do that kind of dumb shit, not me.
And hell, back then, who had a camera?
That's also true. Actually, I don't even think I had a cell phone when I was in junior high.
I didn't have a cell phone until high school, I don't think.
No, not in junior high.
You've made me forget entirely what the topic is. Oh, things we do wrong. I have one for me that's like super minor, but apparently you're supposed to shave in a certain way, and I never fucking learned that. I shave in every direction. Like, I shave up my neck, but then also down my neck, or else I have a bunch of like stubble.
Yeah, or you're prickly this way. You gotta shave.
Yeah, like you have to shave with the grain and against the grain. Apparently you're only supposed to shave. Well, apparently there's two camps. You either shave with the grain or against it. That's like the two options. I just shave in every direction, or else I have stubble everywhere.
Look, there's the extreme shaves and the extreme shave wrongs. We're the shave middles. We're the compromise. We shave both.
Shave all.
Exactly.
Well, you guys clearly both don't spend a lot of time shaving anymore, but when you do shave... Oh, you use like an electric thing, please. Do you use a safety razor on your head?
I try to be safe.
You use an electric thing on your head. You don't shave it like with a razor like a normal...
Prior to bearded Wade, I don't remember, someone could look at my YouTube channel and tell me when I started doing the bearded thing, but I used a shaving cream and a razor for many years on my face.
Yeah, well, how'd you do that?
Oh, that looks against the grain. That looked against the grain.
That did look kind of against the grain. How does your hair lay?
That's how I start whenever it's still like bushy. I would go against the grain, I think. But once I got it like down to where it was almost smooth, that's when I would go the other way to get rid of like the rough this way, smooth that way. I wanted it smooth both ways.
Yeah.
So once I would clear it up one way, that's when I'd go over it the other way to smooth it out both.
The thing is, I don't even know, because mine is such a Scrabble face. I don't think I have a grain. I think it's all just in random directions.
It's just curly cues everywhere.
I'm pretty sure if you get one of those little magnets, like the dude that you can like move the iron to give him a beard, if we just put one of those on you, we could move your hair around your face.
Look. I have a question.
Points to Wade for making me giggle. Mark, yes.
Thank you.
I think the assumption that brushing with warm water as the weird thing was an incorrect take to begin with.
That's fair.
Because I only brush with warm water.
Is that real?
Why wouldn't you?
You brush your teeth with warm water?
I don't like cold on my teeth. Cold on teeth hurts.
Well, you don't. When you brush your teeth, it's not like you have a mouthful of water, but like, I want my teeth brushing to be refreshing. Warm water mixed with mint for me is like, it tastes like tea. Like, it tastes like a minty tea, and that's not refreshing. That makes my mouth feel gross.
A mint tea is good. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's like, okay, so this is like a different desired goal for toothbrushing. Is my objective is to get it clean, and I know that the warmer the solution is, the more vigorous the reaction, because what you're trying to do is essentially a chemical reaction as you're cleaning. The fluoride, and some people are very iffy about fluoride, but fluoride chemically with your teeth enamel does rebuild. It can't, or it doesn't rebuild.
It doesn't replace the enamel, but it fortifies it, right? It somehow bonds to it or something.
Yeah, imagine if it was like the surface, it can help smooth out the surface gaps, but it like, as it degrades over time, it can't rebuild it back up. But there are like, there are advancing techniques, but I recently learned that the way teeth are made is a very fascinating science in and of itself.
Like ceramic replace? Oh, you mean like how teeth grow in your body?
How they actually grow. Yeah, it's such an interesting thing. If you look into the microscopic detailing of teeth, there's like this lattice formation of lines that progressively, it looks like little welds going through your teeth. And what it is, basically, there are these cells that they have the material to make the enamel out of. And in other animals whose teeth regrow all the time, this happens all the time, but in humans, it grows once and then it's done. These little cells will just like run in a straight line, just a pure straight line, until they run out of material, and then they'll die, and then a new cell will come in, and it's just like, it's this constant overlapping of these just single cells. That's how your teeth are built. I mean, that's how your whole body is built, single cells, just building, but it's like just an army of these things just overlapping, constantly building on each other like it's like a 3D printer. It's fascinating how they're built, but it's like, that's why it's so hard to repair, because the entire process is basically deposition. Your body deposits the material on top of it, and so that is what the fluoride is kind of repairing, the structures that were built, the microstructures that were built by those things. It's fascinating.
Points to Mark for tooth knowledge.
Yeah.
I've got some ingenuity knowledge for you.
Ingenuity. Wait, what?
Oh yes, just
you
wait.
took like engineering, or?
Oh, just wait. Give me a moment. I will preface this with, I've brushed with cold and warm water, and I don't really care either way. I don't mind either way. If the water's warm, brush and rinse. If the water's cold, whatever. I won't sit around and wait for it to get hot. Flossing is also important. However, sometimes even despite flossing, if you go and have, let's say, a chicken teriyaki sandwich with some pepper and stuff in it, and you're out for the day, and you happen to look into a mirror and see that a big old chunk of pepper is stuck in your teeth, and you're like, oh, man, I don't have any floss, but that pepper's driving me nuts. What you shouldn't do is what I did yesterday, which is whenever you're changing clothes and trying on new clothes to buy, taking your pair of jeans you wore in and taking the tag of said jeans and using the tag as floss to get to the pepper and get the pepper out of your teeth.
That's not the same width as floss at all.
Well, it got in there and it got the pepper, but I would not ever recommend it to anyone ever. It worked.
No, I thought you were going to say you scraped your teeth with something made of metal, and I was going to be like, oh yeah, you shouldn't do that. What you did is so much worse.
Hey, that tag, it's like you split it in half, and that one little side of the fabric was basically dental floss thickness. It was so close.
Did it hurt shoving it in there?
No, I got a good sized gap between a couple of my teeth. It just, unfortunately, I doubt it was clean. You know, having been on my sweaty lower back all day.
I'm not even worried about that. That just seems like a terrible thing to do to your teeth, physically speaking.
Probably that too. That's why I'm sharing it. In my ingenuity, it works, but you shouldn't try this at home or out in public.
You know, if you have a big enough piece of pepper that you can physically see it, couldn't you just like take your fingernail and like,
It was just deep enough to where even my thumbnail couldn't get in there.
If the moral of the story is take it from us old guys, take care of your teeth.
Don't have team huddles around toilets. It did happen, and it shouldn't have.
If you remember in your past toilets that don't exist, you might have teleported to another universe.
So do you guys do anything else wrong, or is this is the topic just moot today?
Contact lenses? I do contacts wrong. So contact lenses, when they teach you to put contact lenses in, I believe they teach you to like one finger to put it in.
Yeah, you go like this, I don't know, like this, and you have it on your fingy, and you go boop.
So I brace it between two fingers to put it in, so that way it doesn't like fold or collapse on me, because sometimes it was collapsing. So I just kind of brace it between these two.
What do you hold your eyelids with?
My ring finger.
I mean, that's not like dangerous or anything. That's just a weird choice.
Is this why you do the microphone thing?
Dude, I do this all the time.
Did you just do this to get me to do this?
Wade does everything with two fingers. He gets on the elevator and he's like, boop.
Despite working at an eye place and knowing that I shouldn't do this as well, I also do the pinch maneuver to get my contacts out.
Oh, you're super not supposed to do that. That's awful. You're supposed to like get it and like pull it off of your iris so that it becomes unstuck and then grab it.
I go in and I squeeze and plop.
You could scrape your cornea and damage the surface of your eye if you pinch and you get the edges of the contact to scrape on your eyeball. That's horrible.
You sure can. You asked if I do things wrong. I'm telling you, I do.
Listen, this guy, I'm saying that's totally fine. No, it's not wrong. I say it's not wrong because I did that all the time. I have perfect eyes now. And you know what they said?
You had to have laser surgery to fix your busted ass eyes.
Yeah, but under it, the top was pristine. The top was pristine.
Sure.
Because every night, I would pinch in a different orbital rotation, all 360 degrees.
So your scratches are all even, so your vision is evenly distorted all around.
Exactly. I have to think about it because I know I probably do so many things wrong my entire life, and this is kind of just like everything you say. I'm like, I think that's normal.
No, it's not a bit though. You do actually brush with warm water.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be like, warm water. Whoa, that's interesting.
No, I've done that too. I don't mind it.
I've done it. It's gross. I find it really gross.
It's a logical thing. Cold reactions are slower. They're physically slower.
I mean, but the core of the toothbrushing process is the mechanical interaction. There's not that much fluoride in toothpaste. It's not like a fluoride treatment at the dentist where you want it. The fluoride is like a bonus, but the mechanical brushing and the mechanical abrasion that you get from it is the main thing that you benefit from teeth brushing.
But actually, science is starting to say like the amount of mechanical abrasion, especially in electronic toothbrushes nowadays, are causing erosion of gum, because that's what I encountered.
Well, you need to not brush your gums too much, yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is like people with electronic toothbrushes, like the thing is, and this is a hard habit to kick, is because you want to like a toothbrush when you were a kid learning just brushing manually. You should not do that with an electronic toothbrush because that will cause much more abrasion, because electronic toothbrushes just need to be applied with the lightest pressure. Just one tooth, 2 toothes, 3 toothes.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it like the dentists do, right? They have. It's not the same, but they have those little like the little thing.
Yeah.
And when they brush your teeth with that thing, they're all. And that's it. They brush your tooth. They brush the one tooth, and then they go to the next one, and that's like the whole thing.
Which is such a more logical way to do it. And when I started doing that, I'm like, oh, this is so much more efficient. Then I know I got everything. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do it, and then inside and outside, or I just do a slow pass.
Yeah, I do like a slow, like catch them as I drive by type of motion. But
Yeah, like the car wash, but for your teeth.
Exactly. Hey, we actually agree on something, Wade.
I came into this thinking that the hot water toothbrush was going to be a weird thing that you changed my mind, Mark. Points to Mark for expanding my worldview on teeth. But what else do you do weird and wrong, you freaking weirdo?
So many things, I imagine. I'm just trying to like remember what they are.
I don't know how gross this is. It involves feet. From playing basketball and having my feet stepped on all the time, playing sports and whatnot, I started getting like ingrown toenails on my like big toe on my left foot. So whenever you go to trim your toenail, they tell you to trim it like a flat, straight surface, but it would grow back and immediately I started having pain from ingrown toenail again. So I did the curved thing where it's like I clip it flat and I clip extra here to have more time of not ingrown toenail. And I've kept up that trend because it fucking hurts when you have an ingrown toenail. So I clip my toenails incorrect in order to prevent pain longer.
I don't know why doing sports causes that, but football caused me to have the ingrown toenail thing, and
it sucks.
It hurts. It hurts a lot.
And I could probably have something done to have it permanently fixed, but I found that just trimming them wrong helps.
I had a manager. I worked at a pizza place in college, and I had a manager who worked there he was like pretty athletic dude. I think he played basketball. He was like a college age guy. And one time he came in and had like a big, like a soft boot for like when you break your foot type of thing on his foot. And he was like limping around and everyone was kind of like, oh shit. Oh, what happened? And I talked to him and I was like, dude, are you all right? You have an accident or something? And he's like, I have an ingrown toenail that's so bad that I have to have surgery on it.
Jesus.
So I don't know what exactly happened to him, but apparently they can be quite bad.
Well, I imagine all the infection that can happen from just having a toenail causing your foot to hurt and bleed all the time. Yeah. Anywho,
Mark, did you think of anything we can mock you about?
I'm trying to look up like a list of.
Don't worry, Mark. I've got one more to fill the time.
Points to Wade for keeping the action going.
What? No, hey, hold on.
All right. So whenever I was younger and thought I was going to go to law school, whenever you meet a lot of law people, it's very official with like official sturdy handshakes and stuff. I had this little wart between my ring finger and my pinky finger, just like sitting right there. For some reason, young teenage me was like, if I ever meet a lawyer or a judge who's left-handed and they go to shake my hand and they possibly feel that wart, they're going to be grossed out, weirded out. I got to get rid of this thing. How do you get rid of a wart? I don't know. I know, toenail clippers and tweezers. So I use toenail clippers and tweezers to cut it, rip out the little seed thing, keep it flat and flush. And I did that to myself, mutilating my own hand to get rid of it. But look how silky smooth and nice it is now. You can't even tell.
I feel like I can kind of see it. I don't like that you did that, but I have to say, bigger thing that I think you're doing wrong there. Which hand do you shake when you meet someone?
Right, unless they're left-handed and they reach out first and I have to meet them.
No, it doesn't change. Maybe this is me being traditional and maybe this is not true. You always shake right hands. I am left-handed, so this applies to me. Nobody shakes left hands when you meet them. When you meet someone, you offer your right hand to shake it. When you get your diploma, when you graduate from high school or college, you offer your right hand to shake and you take your diploma with your left hand. You always shake right hands. Is that a thing?
I didn't know that at 16 years old, if that's true.
Have you ever shaken a person's left hand? Did that ever come up?
I don't know, but I can tell you I worried about it and I cleaned it up. So if I ever meet someone and shake your left hand, you won't feel a weird, creepy bump. You're welcome.
I had this thing also where it was like, for some reason, like someone apologized to me for something, but my right hand was dirty. And I literally had this thought, and I think I said out loud, like, oh, sorry, my right hand's dirty, but all right, apology accepted. And I extended my left hand. And I think he intrinsically understood what I meant by my right hand's dirty. So I'm apologizing for accepting this apology with my left hand. But why did I do that? I don't know what basis I had for the the knowledge of like,
because you're supposed to shake with your right hand.
yeah, it was like something where it was like a left-handed shake is disingenuous or something like that. That's what my thought was.
I think it was probably just a gut reaction if you're used to shaking with your right hand. And then like the thought came, oh, I can use this hand. So you started to apologize for not doing it. But then halfway through, you found a solution. And it wasn't an apology for using your left hand, but for the fact that your right was dirty.
I think that this is just a good opportunity to say that people who use their left hand as their predominant hand, left-handed people, are just wrong in their day-to-day life. So I want to say that as a...
Whoa.
What?
Points to Mark to standing up to the man.
Yeah, see, Amy is left-handed, and I have to deal with this. Oh, I can't use my right. That's nonsense. Every day I wake up.
I'm so sorry you have to deal with this, Mark.
Go on, Mark. Expound. What other grievances do you have about Amy? This seems like a great place to talk about them.
All right, okay. I don't have any grievances about Amy, but I did want to like talk about like something that probably is divisive, but to such a small subset of people that when me saying this, and especially coming from like where I am and saying it, will make some people unfeasibly mad. Like,
well, you could be saying that about any statement you're about to make in the English lexicon. That's not impressive.
I don't believe in doing Foley for audio.
Ooh,
I can't
really?
believe you'd say that. What does that mean?
Don't let him have a pass on this one. I have mixed feelings already.
I think Foley is an outdated and archaic method of doing sound design, and it actively holds back productions because Foley artists, who are extremely talented, and that skill itself is useful, but doing Foley for movies as a standard of quality for it's not good until you do Foley is nonsense in the era where there is a plethora of incredibly well recorded by Foley artists sound packs that are to an extent like vastly more useful and transformative and usable than having your own in-studio Foley artist.
You phrase it in a way that sounds more incendiary than it is. What you're saying is bespoke Foley for every production is a waste of time.
Yes.
But you're still essentially saying use Foley.
Yes.
Just use pre-recorded stuff because the quality of that is so good. It is good enough.
Vote for Mark. He'll eliminate jobs. He is here for us.
Listen, the union would never let you eliminate a job in the film and TV industry, so they don't have to worry about that. But.
Oh, God. We had, did I talk about the job of like the playback recorder?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You're not allowed to touch the thing. They have to touch the thing.
Yeah. I am not besmirching audio recorders and Foley artists. I do believe that that is an extremely valuable skill, but it is like waiting to be like, oh yeah, well, this has got to go through Foley before anything. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. They did that work already, and you have a million sound packs of unbelievable audio recording from Foley artists everywhere possible in every sound environment. You do not all with like you buy it and you can use it. That's how the licensing is set up. And it's like you don't need to because here's what it is. The reason I think it's archaic is because when you have these studios that have like a specific Foley artist with their own little bay in the mixing area, whatever it is, or whatever.
In a studio.
It doesn't matter how robust their setup is. They cannot replicate the plethora of sound environments that you could need for your movie. They only have what they have, which is a lot, and it's a lot of very useful stuff, but they do not have the going out to external locations fully. They do not have those sounds recorded. They do not have designed sounds, which are sometimes, and this is a big thing about me, just because something's real doesn't mean it's better for that moment. Just because a sound is authentically what a firecracker going off is or a gunshot going off is does not mean it's the right sound for that moment.
Well, and that's not really what Foley is either. Well, they use a lot of real stuff to make real sounds, but it's not a one-to-one analog. Like they use sand instead when they're doing snow, or they use there's a lot of substitutes. Because you're right, the sound of someone walking on wet snow is really not a sound at all, as compared to like that crunchy snow sound from a movie.
Absolutely, yeah, and I completely agree with that. There are some different sources. What I'm talking about is like in a deeper level of audio design, where there is this belief that if you record one sound, even if you do multiple sounds So long as it's recorded live in that moment, it's perfect for it. Whereas in today's digital editing age, you can layer so many complex sounds and like really narrow down into the frequencies of the exact things you want. You can even specify the resonance that you want between your different sounds if you so choose. And it's like that allows for such a vastly more complex tapestry of sound that could be done quicker than waiting for Foley.
What a brave take. You're a brave boy.
How could you say something so bold?
You're probably right. I don't know. I don't make many movies.
I don't completely disagree with you, but I will say, without understanding the nuanced physics of sound and sound recording, there are things where I would think you're not able to capture, and this is something that you might not even be able to hear as a person watching a movie, even in a high quality theater with the highest quality speaker setup you could have. Maybe you can't hear the difference, but there is a difference physically as if you have a specific sound, right? Maybe you have a chain falling onto a snow covered ground with a very specific type of setup, right?
Yes.
And if you're making that digitally, using real sounds, you need the crunch of the snow, you would need the clang of the chain, maybe a couple versions of that. You would need some other auxiliary sounds to like flesh it out, something. I don't know. You would need layers of things. It wouldn't capture the same type of sound as the actual chain dropping onto an actual surface. You could get close enough that no one would be able to ever tell the difference. But there might, if you're like an auteur making cinema, and you're doing something and you're making this piece of art, I totally get why you would prefer maybe a Foley artist to perform that in a specific way to capture all the nuance of all the different things you want in that sound. But like that really doesn't apply to a lot of productions. Cinema and movies, if we're gonna, split it apart like that, don't need that same level of stuff. And that's really more of like an artist's preference versus, I think you're right, for most movies and TV productions, you get everything you need using packs and blending and making your own things. Because Foley's a whole other pass. Like one of the things about editing, and you know this better than I do, is it's like layers, right? There's like a first pass, and then there's another editing pass, and then there's like effects passes, and then there's color stuff. Like there's so many people where you go over the same footage over and over and over. Foley just adds more steps to that, where it's like, we've done 13 passes on this scene. Now we gotta wait for another person to do another pass where they're recording the Foley sounds or whatever. We didn't talk about this. For anyone who doesn't know, Foley refers to a person in a studio who has like a bucket of water and they watch a playback of a footage and they splash the water and record the sound to capture audio to go with a sound that's happening in a movie. If you don't know what it is, that's basically what Foley is.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people will think your take is spicy, though.
I do think that there will be, but also just like understand that I know me saying this sounds very YouTubery, but I do a lot of sound design. I do an exceptional amount of sound design, and I love audio. That's why I'm saying these inefficiencies need to get gone. There's such a wide tapestry of sound that I feel like people are held back by because they are holding on to like these archaic forms of doing things.
You know, it's equally archaic when you are at like a dinner place and you get a glass of wine and they pour just like a splash and they're like, is this good for you? And it's like, do I drink it? Do I swirl and spit it? Do I just smell it? Do I just look at it? And it's like, I just want to drink the wine, man. Just pour it. But these like Foley wine pourers are there
Foley ass wine.
for these archaic people who think they can taste the difference from a 1968 Moscato versus a 1971. And it's like, just give me the Moscato, man.
So can I say, I don't know, I'm sure you're right for the motivations for doing that in most contexts. It is important to do that to make sure the bottle of wine's not skunked, though. We have had a bottle of wine at a restaurant come out that was just like a bad bottle. And when you do the test initially and you smell it and you're like, ugh, it gives you a chance to say like, hey, I think this wine is spoiled or something.
I don't even know what you're supposed to do.
You drink it. You're supposed to drink it and make sure that it tastes okay.
Okay, some people like swirl it and like smell it and then they like spit it and stuff. I'm just like, thanks.
Wait, if you want to pretend to be civilized, the way that you taste wine, a basic approach is you take the glass as it's poured, you smell, you get that smell, you swirl it because when you aerate it, the smell is going to change and it also will affect the flavor. So you aerate it a little bit. You look at it because the color, if you don't know, it doesn't matter. But then you smell it again, and then you drink it. And that's it. You don't spit it out.
Okay. Smell, look, swirl, look, smell, taste.
Yeah.
I imagine you're looking for like floating bits.
What an unnecessary couple of passes.
In red wine, there's a blue color at the edge of the wine on the glass that can happen that tells you something about how old the wine is and if it's ready or not. The way the line runs down the glass, which is called the legs of the wine, tells you something about how thick it is, because wine can be thicker or thinner, which gives it a different like taste and feel because it'll coat your tongue more or it won't coat your tongue. It doesn't matter. You're tasting the wine and smelling the wine to see if it's spoiled. 90% of that.
And that's why it's the same thing as what Mark was saying.
Foley wine, bad. Got
Yeah.
it. Points to Mark for making Wade's point for him.
Thank you. Something else I do wrong, is everything.
Oh, babe, come on.
I do so many things just in such a roundabout way to come to conclusions that other people have come to already. Because I did this with hard drives. I probably talked about my hard drive escapades.
What? No, you never talk about technology.
Right? Okay. Well, this is specifically. Like, I don't know enough about storage, right? So I don't know about, NAS's too much, and I don't know, like, how, like, server infrastructure works. So I start learning, and then, I go through, like, whatever the equivalent of the 5 stages of grief are in terms of, like, 5 stages of thinking I'm better than everybody else. That's what I go through.
Do you go through that learning process really quick? Cocky, new person who thinks they know everything to slowly realizing that you don't know anything and it's all hard and more complicated than you thought?
Yeah, but then I do an upturn again where I come back to like, no, wait, I was a genius all along. This is all dumb and I'm smart. Because like I did that with hard drives where it's like, I get the solution that doesn't work. I get another solution that doesn't work. I start to learn. I'm angry. I think everything's dumb. I get the solution that does work, but it doesn't work well enough. Therefore, I think the entire industry is dumb and it needs to change. And then I get another solution that I think from my deduction will work better. It doesn't work better. And then I think I'm dumb because I'm like, I had a solution that worked. It just didn't work as well as I wanted it to. And then I come full circle and I go, no, it can be better if I build my own.
This is like a 12-step parabola of you.
It is. And I literally am at this stage now where I'm looking up contract manufacturing to build, I'm not joking. I'm looking up in my spare time contract manufacturing to build both PC boards with Thunderbolt controllers and U.2 NVMe interfaces to be able to create an inbuilt RAID array because I'm like, there is no 4-bay U.2 drive in a compact form factor, and this is ridiculous. And why does anyone stand for this?
I think we should start lobbying our politicians.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, this is ungodly. How can people sleep when this gap in the market exists?
Dear viewers, if you are in America, call your senator, call your representative today. See if we can get this problem taken care of.
I know. I'm just saying, because that's what happens is like every single small thing that I ever encounter in my life goes through the same process where I'm like, I don't know it. I think I know it. I think I know it better. I don't know it at all. I do know it better and I can prove it. And then I don't do anything about that.
Then you just go back to that middle step where it worked okay and you use that.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, it works okay, Mark, so that's all right.
It works really well in comparison to what the previous state of being was, but when I can see the potential of what it is and how everyone is dumb around me, I don't know how I can live.
I would like to request points for Mark's parabola.
Points to both of you on that one.
Yeah, have the points go flow through Wade and then come back to me.
But then they've got to flow back to me in the end because it's a parabola.
Points to Wade for being smarter than Mark, but then points to Mark for realizing he's actually smarter, but then points to Wade for actually being smarter than Mark, but then points to Mark for realizing that no, he was right all along and he knows the best way to do it, but then points to Wade for Mark actually going back and just using Wade's ultimate solution that he came up with originally, but then points to Mark for being so bold as to call out Foley artists.
What about wine? I call out all the wine industry. All those wine snobs out there think they're better than you because they can smell some grapes. Like, ooh, what a skill.
Look, I happen to live in wine country for a few years there, and I don't like wine. Like, I'm not that guy. But they do smell and taste different. And I've never drank a wine that I thought was worth a lot of money because it was really good, but it's not bullshit snobbery for someone who has a really good palate to be able to tell the difference.
Welcome back to Ohio, where you buy one of the 3 bottles they have at the store and you drink it.
Wade, you live in a city with a store with one of the most interesting wine collections that has weekly wine tastings at it in the area.
Oh, Jungle Gyms.
Yeah. Literally, they have a better wine selection than a lot of the places out where we lived in California probably did, because we lived in a little valley, not in like Napa or something.
Yeah, I usually don't get the wine. I usually bypass it to find a good cider, or I don't buy it at all and I leave. Because I like the candy section more because I'm 12 years old.
So you're a connoisseur. I see.
Oh, yeah, dude. How do you think I chipped the tooth-eating airheads? I'm a candy connoisseur, top of the line.
What I'm getting is all of us do everything wrong.
But we think we're right, and then we're wrong, but we still think we're right.
And because of that, the true hero of this episode, and I think the deserved winner, also based on the points that I gave out pretty arbitrarily, would be Mark.
I was about to say I was pissing myself.
Did you? Did you do it?
No, I didn't. But winner's been declared, right? So I didn't need to.
No, yeah, winner's been declared.
Except for the fact that I have a handshake deal with Bob where I can steal a win.
Is that true?
I don't remember.
And I choose to use it now.
Do we have an outstanding one where you get... Did I thought you used that one.
I can just take a win whenever I want to. That is the deal. I have one.
Is that true?
And if Mark's just going to go back to me anyway, then I think I should have this win.
I think he's right. I will say, if you're making this up and you don't actually have an outstanding handshake deal, the punishment will be quite severe. But
no fingers crossed. I'm owed one.
I think he has a win steal in play, Mark.
I've been sitting on it.
He has. It's been a long time.
Feels good to finally exercise. The subreddit's been eagerly anticipating this moment, and I had to wait for the right one. The last time I wanted to use it, Mark, you were all like, oh, my eyes are red, grandma's dead, life sucks. And I was like, man, that'd be mean to use it now. So I waited, and now is my time to shine.
Wade wins.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm gonna do it right here on camera. I'm doing it. No, I'm not doing it.
Please, because the winner was already announced and it wouldn't have counted.
Save that, Mark. Keep that in the chamber. You could steal a win back from him.
You're right.
Mark, do you want to give your surprise loser speech?
The best losses in life are surprises, just like my grandma. What a shock. So thank you so much for being here.
The best losses in life. You can't say that.
You made this happen, Wade. You made this happen. I appreciate it.
I didn't kill your grandma.
Oh, how do I know? I don't know the facts. So
that'd be a hell of a butterfly effect.
How did I know you didn't have a handshake deal with the Grim Reaper? You know, I just think that anything could happen at this point.
You could never leave the room, Mark. You never know what kind of deals might get struck while you're gone.
Better stick around, buddy.
God, we should have just made a handshake deal while Pod was away. I just never think to betray in that way.
Well, if you guys making a handshake deal while I'm talking like an idiot about where's my cable running around my house would have been.
We'll retroactively make a devastating handshake deal occur in the shadows of Bob's departure.
Don't make Will do more editing. You guys have already made him do enough this episode.
All right.
You're right.
Wade, you want to give your totally deserved winner speech?
I do. So I'd like to start by showing... Here's where Mark thought he won. Here's where he realized he didn't. Here's where he saw that I won. Here's where he tried to piss to get it back. And here's where I ultimately came out on top. Just almost out of frame.
Well, congratulations, Wade. You really showed Mark. You really put him in his place. You really gave him what he needed and deserved today. And
there were people out there, that one guy on the subreddit who thought I would never exercise my right to steal a win. There's 2 things I remember. To hold up one finger when I say 2 things, and Shakira, and my one win I could steal.
Okay, well, that's plenty of episode for this recording session.
Mark, no loser speech. You just lose.
He gave a loser speech.
Oh, I didn't listen. I was too busy winning.
You did listen. It was the grandma thing.
Oh, it was so horrible I blocked it out.
Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode. Make sure you check out our merch at store.distractablepodcast.com. Mark is Markiplier. Wade is Lord Minion777 or Minion777. I am Myskirm. And God, help us all. This one is over. Thank you for being here. Make sure you come back next time. Podcast out.